All right, so let's just come to a comfortable seat, cross-legged. Try to prop yourself up on a blanket or pillow. Anything to elevate your hips above your knees. Anything to make your spine feel tall and curvy. Anything that will allow you to relax your shoulders, maybe relax your eyelids closed or at least to soften. Let the elbows just droop from your shoulders, your armpits. Start to relax your jaw, the space between your eyebrows, your cheeks, relax your tongue. Let's start to connect deeply with our breath. So let's all take a big inhale together. Then exhale, sigh, let it out through the mouth. Let's inhale again through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Have your palms facing down for a gesture of grounding, healing, feeling turned down, turned in, or have your palms facing up on your thighs for a gesture of receptivity, a sign of receiving, sign of taking all in that the universe is offering. Let's just arrive here, taking deep breaths, deep inhales. Maybe you count a 3 count or 4 count, and then exhale with the same number, 3 or 4 counts. Maybe right now your exhales and inhales feel longer, maybe 6, 7 counts. Then as we move, maybe they will shorten. Try to keep them at 3 counts throughout the practice. If that's what you need to come back and in tune with yourself, then that works perfectly. Start to feel the ground beneath you. Feel whatever you're sitting on. But start to really bring awareness to this present moment and to your breath. Let it connect with every movement we do today. Let your notions and your beliefs that you have on the mat, being receptive to things, pushing away your beliefs and just allowing what to happen on the mat, allow to happen. Let that, maybe bring that type of feeling, that type of notion off the mat as well. Being receptive to it all, to week 9, to anything and everything that will come into the future. Have faith in the future. Take a deep inhale and exhale, let it out. Start to let your inhales and exhales come through the nose. Maybe make an audible sound like Ujjayi breath. Allow it to guide you through this practice today. Again, or keep that count, whatever will keep you present. You can keep your eyes closed or flutter them open. And we'll start to sweep the arms out and up with a big inhale. Let the palms press overhead, and then exhale, bring hands into heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms press. Exhale, lower. Let's do it again. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. At the top, interlace your fingers, spin your palms to the sky, and maybe do a nice arch back, like a big good morning stretch. Let your heart beam to the sun. And then we'll exhale and lean to the left, letting the right palm press away from you. Maybe you can reach a little further, keep rooting that right sits bone. Then inhale, we'll come back up to center. Exhale, lean to the right. Pressing that left palm away, maybe spinning your gaze beneath your left arm. Lean a little deeper. Then inhale, come back up. Arch one more time, leaning your face upward. And then exhale, we'll come down. We'll come spin to the right and we'll come for a twist. So bring your right hand behind you, your left hand to your right thigh. Broaden the collarbones and send your gaze over your right shoulder. Lengthening your spine with the inhales. Maybe twisting deeper with your exhales. Keep the shoulders drifting away from the ears. We'll sit up tall, inhale, unwind, bring the arms by the ears, then exhale, twist to the left. Bring the left hand behind you, right hand to the left thigh. Fanning the collarbones wide, send the gaze over the left shoulder. Not to pinch that left shoulder into the right ear or to the left ear, but really opening up and twisting here. One more big inhale. We'll exhale, unwind, and then come onto all fours. Have wrists directly beneath the shoulders, hips stacked right over the knees. Pad up if that feels kind. Really spread your fingertips wide. Press the tops of the feet to the ground. Feel the shoulder blades spread across the back. And then we'll begin to move with the breath through cat and cow. So inhale, begin to lift the tailbone, sink the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the gaze for cow. Exhale, tuck the hips, tuck the tailbone, round out the spine, and release the head between the shoulders. Inhale to lift the hips, drop the belly, let the shoulder blades squeeze on the back as you lift the gaze. And then exhale to tuck the tailbone, hollow out the abdomen, send the gaze to the thighs or the navel. Inhale, keep moving with your breath. Lift everything with the inhale, starting with the tailbone. Then exhale, pressing the palms into the earth, rounding out the spine, curling in, emptying out with the exhale. Keep moving with your breath through cat and cow. Inhaling to lift the hips, drop the belly, open the collarbones. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone. Move like a wave. Add any extra gestures or movements that might feel good for you. Tuck the toes, send your hips to one heel and then the other. Maybe you spin your hands around so the fingers are facing your knees. And you just stretch out the inner arms here. Maybe you flip the on top to like the back of your hand. And just feel your wrist, stretching out the wrist. Any arm bones or ligaments. This is like a yogi freestyle here. The next time you inhale, let's come to a neutral spine. Come back to that tabletop. We'll inhale to lift the right arm to the sky, and then exhale, thread it behind the left arm, grounding the shoulder and your head or your ear, facing the other way. And just have a nice little shoulder stretch here. Maybe you walk your left hand out in front of you a little bit. Tug the left hip back, bringing that right hip slightly forward. You can keep the left hand grounded, or if it feels nice, inhale to lift the left arm to the sky, and then maybe bend at the elbow and drift the right hand towards your right hip. Or sorry, left hand towards your right hip. I'll never get good at lefts and rights. Breathing here. Keep spinning and opening that left shoulder open to get the chest open. Send your gaze to the sky. Again, keep tugging that left hip back. And then we'll inhale to lift the left arm to the sky, ground the hand. If it feels good to you, to inhale to lift the right arm all the way back up, then plant it back beneath the armpit. Feel what you feel, sway the hips. Maybe you just open the shoulders, open the chest. Do any movements that feel good. Then we'll inhale to lift the left arm up, and then exhale, thread it underneath the right arm. Grounding the cheek, your ear, your head. Feeling that stretch in the whole left side. Walk the right hand out away from your face. Tug the right hip back. And then inhale, if it feels good, lift the right arm. Then bend at the elbow and let it just drift, the right hand drift, maybe near the left hip. Nice. Just gonna get some spine movement, some twisting in. Shoulders, shoulder blade opening today. When you feel ready, unwind, bring that left hand back to the earth, or where are we, right hand. And then if it feels good to counter twist, lift the left arm up and then plant the left hand back down. We're gonna stay here on all fours for a minute. Bring the right leg out to the side. Ground the sole of the foot here if you can. If not, just stay on the inner side of the foot. Walk the hands towards you and then lift up. So you're in this kneeling, standing, nice. We'll have the right arm come down that right leg and then sweep the left arm out and up. Face the palm towards the right and lean to the right. Nice. Feeling the hip here. You might want some padding beneath that knee. I should have told you, your left knee. But really just opening up. We're not going to stay here long. Feeling that stretch, waking up all the sides of our body here. Breathing deeply. We'll inhale, come back up. Plant the palms and keep your legs where they are, but begin to walk your hands away from you. And maybe you ground your elbows. Maybe you keep your elbows lifted, plug in the upper arms, and feel like you're dragging the mat with your hands back towards you. And at the same time, we'll let the hips sink back. So you can tuck the left foot if you want, if that feels stable for you, or keep the top of the foot to the ground. But we just want to get into that inner right hip. That's the goal. So really press those hips back as you sink the heart. Feeling it in the inner thigh, inner right thigh. We'll come back up, walk the hands back beneath your shoulders, replace the right knee beneath your hip, and then we'll send the left leg out long next to us. Ground the sole of the foot and start to walk the hands towards you. Lift yourself all the way. Let the left hand slide down the leg, and then inhale to sweep the right arm out and up. Face the palm towards the left side and lean. So then the palm begins to face towards the ground. Keep opening the chest by really like wrapping the left ribs towards the sky. Keep leaning in, opening that hip. Hopefully that's where you feel it. And of course, through the right side body, really breathe in between the spaces and between the ribs. And then we'll come back up. Bring the hands to the mat. Begin to walk them out in front of you as you send your hips back. Feeling the stretch, keeping that left leg anchored, the left foot anchored towards the ground. Really feel the upper arms plugging in as you reach through your fingertips. and ground down between all 10 fingers. Breathing deeply. So inhale, roll yourself back up, walk your hands back, and replace the left knee back. Then we'll just tuck your toes, tuck your chin, and lift your hips all the way up for a downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Sway your hips, bend one knee and then bend the other. Straightening your legs. Something I've been doing lately, it might feel good. Pour weight into your left hand and lift your right hand and just stretch it back towards your left ankle. Might feel good. Then you can replace the right hand. Pour weight into that hand. Lift the left hand. Grab the right ankle. And come back to your down dog. I'm sorry, I'm all cracks over here. Keep lifting the hips high, spinning the inner thighs towards the wall behind you. Then we'll rise to the balls of our feet and take a slow stroll to the top of the mat, as slow as you can. Feel the hamstrings. And then once you arrive, stand about shoulder width distance apart or 2/5 of a distance. And just hang. Really fold your hips over. Retrieve opposite elbows, opposite wrists, and just sway back and forth. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other again. Maybe you interlace your fingers and place them at the base of your skull, sending weight, more weight in your head, more weight in the balls of your feet, with a slight bend in your knees. Release everything you're holding onto. Let your head dangle with a slight bend in your knees. Roll yourself all the way up to stand. Let your head arrive last. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Maybe you walk your feet a little closer together for Tadasana, mountain pose. Find your foundation here. Really feel the earth beneath your feet. Really feel the power in your legs. Feel powerful in your legs. Let your tailbone tuck under and your pelvis tilt forward. Close your eyes. Arrive in your mountain pose. Maybe you spin your palms outward. Feel strong here as you would in any other pose. Feel like no wind or breeze can knock you down. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh. We'll sweep the arms out and up. Palms press overhead, gaze lifts. Exhale, dive through the midline. Fold deeply in half. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, palms to shins, collarbones wide, neck is soft. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. We'll inhale to ripple forward to a high plank pose, like the top end of a push-up. Then we'll descend the knees, chest, and chin to the mat for Ashtha Pranam. Keep tugging the elbows in towards the body. Keep the hips lifted. Feel the awkwardness, feel the curviness in the spine. And then on your next inhale, we'll press through the palms, lift the chest, ground the belly, point the toes for baby Cobra, Lagu Bhujangasana. Inhale here. Exhale, tuck the chin, roll over the toes, press your hands and knees, and lift back up to downward facing dog. We'll inhale, rise to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the thumbs, step, hop, or walk to the top of the mat. We'll land with a long spine, halfway up, and then exhale, fold deeply in half. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms out and up, palms press, gaze lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, through your widest wingspan, palms pressed. Exhale, draw a line through the midline of the body and fold deeply in half. Inhale, halfway up, palms the shins, collarbones wide. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Now you can keep going through your vinyasas with Ashtha Pranam, knees, chest, shin. Or we can go through Chaturanga Dandasana with or without the knees. So on your next inhale, ripple forward to a high plank. And then on your next exhale, bend at the elbows with or without the knees, keeping the shoulders, hips, and knees in line with each other. Inhale, press through the palms, roll over the toes for upward facing dog or baby cobra. Spread the collarbones, spin the inner thighs to the sky, and then exhale, roll over the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Land with a long spine, halfway up. Exhale to fold deeply in half. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up, palms pressed overhead, gaze lifts. Exhale, hands into heart center, then down by your side. We'll bend the knees, sink the hips, sweep the arms up by the ears for Utkatasana, chair pose. Press into the heels of the feet. Let the sit bones sink deeper. Look down, make sure you can see your big toes. Lift the heart up. With the fingertips reaching, spin the triceps towards the ears. Really tuck your tailbone here. And then we'll exhale, stand up straight and fold in half. Inhale, halfway up, palms to shins, shoulder blades pinch. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and flow through your vinyasa with or without knees. Exhale to lower. Inhale for baby cobra, upward facing dog. Fan the collarbones. Exhale, tuck the chin over the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Beautiful, breathe here. Connecting with that ujjayi breath or audible sound. Really pressing into the thumb and the pointer finger. We'll inhale to lift the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, spin the knee to the sky, and then start to roll out the hip one way. Really ground in that standing leg. And then roll it the other way. We'll straighten the leg, have the hips square to the mat, the toes facing the mat. Exhale, knee to nose, step the right foot next to the right thumb. Ground the back heel down. You want heel to healer, heel space alignment. Face forward, rise up, arms by the ears for warrior one. Bend deeply in that front knee. Really anchor down that outer pinky side of the left foot. Let that groundedness really tug the left hip forward. So it's a squaring of the hips. Feel your heart lifted as you tuck the tailbone, trying not to flare out the ribs. Virabhadrasana 1. We'll swim the arms behind us by our low back, interlace the fingers, puff up through the armpits, beam the heart forward, then heel toe your right foot outward a little bit. Keep that length in the spine, and then exhale, fold in between your right leg. So your right ear should be by your right knee. Bring the knuckles to the sky. So the hand should be over your head. Pressing firmly in that, again, that outer left foot. Humble warrior. Breathing here. Then release your hands. Bring the palms inside of the right foot. Pivot onto the ball of the left foot. That's the foot behind you. And then you can lower that back knee. and come into a lizard lunge. So stay here, keep the right knee tugging into the right arm. You can begin to walk your hands out in front of you and ground the elbows. Of course, if that's too much, you can stay lifted. Maybe bring the earth closer to you with a block or a pillow. If your knee is down and you want to lift it, you can tuck the back toes, the left toes, and lift that knee. You might feel that more in that left hip, but you should be feeling it in the right hip or the right inner thigh. Keep tugging that right knee into your arms. And then you could stay here or begin to walk your hands towards the left side of the body of the mat. So your forearms are kind of diagonal. In this case, ground the back leg and then let the right leg, the right knee kind of fall outward. So you're pivoting onto the outer pinky side of that foot, the right foot. You'll feel this more as you stretch the thigh. Of course, you'll feel it wherever you are in this pose. We'll start to walk the hands back beneath our armpits. If the toes aren't already tucked, we'll tuck the back toes, lift the back leg, send the right leg back to meet the left, and flow through your vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. If you lower, wait for the exhale, then let the inhale scoop the chest forward, beautiful. And then exhale, tuck the chin over the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Collarbones wide. Nice, breathe here for one breath. And on your next inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, send the knee to the sky. Circle out that hip. Distributing the weight evenly in your hands. Really let the shoulders drop. And then straighten that leg, squaring the hips. Bend the knee to nose and plant the foot next to the left thumb. Ground the right heel down, heel to heel or heel space, heel alignment. Face forward, rise up for warrior one. Bending deeply in that left knee. Pivoting the right hip forward. Reaching up through the heart, reaching up through the fingertips. Really grounding down in that pinky side of the right foot. And maybe move around, feel the weight in all four corners of that left foot. Play around today, feel it. What is it like if you just put on the ball of the foot, maybe lift the heel, replace the heel, maybe lift the toes. Then we'll reach up and exhale, swim the arms behind us, interlacing the fingers with the opposite thumb on top. Keep bending deeply in that front knee. Puff up the armpits. Exhale, fold inside of the left leg. Bringing the knuckles over the head, pressing them away. Maybe you try to press the palms towards each other. Opening the shoulders. Then exhale, release the palms inside of the left foot. Pivot onto the right ball of the foot. Lower that back heel, untuck the toes, and come into your lizard lunge on the left side. Really tug that left knee into the left arm. Stay here, tuck the toes, lift the back leg, or ground the forearms, walking the hands out in front of you. Keep tugging the left knee in and opening up that hip. Breathing sending your exhales to wherever is needed right now. Constantly, consistently scanning your body for what it's asking for, what it's asking you to do, listening to what it wants, and making those adjustments that are necessary. Maybe you walk your hands towards the right side of the mat. Let that left knee flare out, rolling onto the pinky side of the left foot. Constantly listening to your body on and off the mat. Don't just give it this time. We'll walk the hands back. Lift yourself up. Tuck your back toes. And then send the left foot back to meet the right. Go straight to down dog or flow through your vinyasa. Lowering knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Wait for the inhale to scoop the chest forward, fanning the collarbones, lifting the gaze. Exhale, roll over the toes, hips high, shoulders down, heart lifts, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, the right leg lifts up and back. Exhale, bend knee to nose. Plant the right foot between the thumbs. Pivot the left heel down. So now your right foot should be bisecting the left foot. Heel to heel or heel arch alignment. Bend deeply in that front leg. Let your left arm scoop you all the way up to warrior two. Arms out to a T. Gaze over your right middle finger. Right hip lifts. Relax the shoulders. Feeling all of the energy going out of the right fingers, just like they're going back out of the left fingers. Endeavoring to get your right leg 90 degrees angle. On your next exhale, straighten the front leg. Use the right arm to pull your torso forward gently as far as you can go. And then on the next exhale, release the right arm down, left arm lifts for triangle pose, Lutetia Trikonasana. Feel expansive, feel all of that energy, all of the stretching, continuing in that right side. Send the gaze up to the left thumb. Really cutting that right hip under, sending that left hip back. Fall back on your shoulder blades to really open your chest. Reach a little higher through your left fingers. Then maybe you search for 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Let the arm fall behind you. And then plug the arm back in. Pour weight in the right foot and lift yourself all the way up. Bend deeply in that right knee, coming back to warrior two. And then we'll frame the front foot with our hands. Step back to downward facing dog or flow through your vinyasa. Lowering with the exhale. Inhale to lift for baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, plant the foot between the thumbs. Pivot that right heel down so it's almost parallel to the short edge of the mat. Let the right arm lift you all the way up to warrior two. Relax the shoulders as you reach through both fingertips. Lift the left hip out of the thigh. Keep pressing that left shin forward as you really root down in that pinky side of the right foot. Straighten the front leg, then tilt your torso all the way forward, reaching through the left fingers. Let the left hand fall, the right hand lift, and open the chest for Lutetia Trikonasana. Breathing deeply here, feeling so expansive. Take up as much room as you can as your crown of the head moves forward. The left hip cuts under, pressing back. Arms move in opposite directions, and your feet are your foundation. Maybe you reach the right arm back a little. Go for 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Feel the openness. And then we'll lift ourselves all the way up. Put a slight bend in that left knee and pivot on the heel, spinning the toes towards the right side. Bring our hands to the hips. Have your look down. Make sure your toes are a little slightly pigeon-toed and in the same line as each other. Bring hands to the hips. Squeeze the elbows back behind you. Lift the heart. And then exhale, fold over your hips. Release your hands to the mat and walk them back to where is comfortable for you. Walk them back so you can feel your sits bones reaching higher as your head, the crown of the head goes lower. You want Chaturanga Dandasana arms here. If you can have your fingers lined up with your toes, the heels of your feet lined up with the heels of the palms. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel this in your hips. Maybe you sway back and forth a little bit. Another thing I like to do here is to grab my ankles and then really feel the hips and the sits bones rise. Replace your fingers back beneath your face, your hands beneath your face. Lift up halfway. Use the entire exhale to gather your hands to your hips. And inhale, lift all the way up. We're gonna pivot on to back into that warrior two stance, but we're just gonna hop the right foot forward. We'll bend the knees, so we're at the top of the mat, bend the knees, sink the hips, sweep the arms up by the ears, back into this chair pose. This time we can bring hands into heart center. So lift your heart to meet your thumbs, sink a little deeper, and then exhale, twist, hooking that left arm, left elbow outside of the right leg. So as we're twisting, we're sending the gaze over the shoulder, but really quick look down, make sure your knees are in line with each other. Your left knee is probably forward, so you're gonna tuck that left hip back, send your gaze back over your right shoulder, sink your hips a little deeper, and breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, unwind, bring your arms up by your ears, stay low. Exhale, hands in the prayer, twist to the left, hooking the right elbow outside of the left knee. Bringing your heart to your thumbs, gaze over left shoulder, sinking the hips. Beautiful. Exhale, unwind, bring your arms up by the ears, sink your hips lower, send the heels to the weight to the heels, keep sinking your hips, keep going, keep going. Yeah, and then we'll land on the ground. Nice. So come to a seat softly. All right, so if you have a blanket, now would be a great time to bring it to the mat. If you don't have a blanket, you can still do this pose safely. We're gonna come into a shoulder stand. I've been craving to do this, so hopefully this is kind on your neck. We don't want any pressure in your neck, although you will feel some pressure, but you don't want it to hurt. So, but you can do this right on the mat. We'll come to bring the blanket so that your shoulders will be right on the edge so that your neck hangs off of the blanket. Nice. If you have multiple blankets, then that's great. You know what to do. So we'll head our head over the blanket, shoulders just come to the edge. We'll bring our legs out long and bring our arms by our side. It's easier to get into shoulder stand through halasana, plow pose, which is just when your legs are above your head. So if you can, kick one leg and then the other leg up. Use your hands to place them behind on your low back to lift yourself up. And then maybe your legs can fall over your face. Maybe your toes can touch the ground above your head. If not, you can press your hands closer to your shoulder blades and your fingers to the sky, and then lift your legs up that way. Press your elbows into the ground as you press them towards each other. Really feel the energy lifting through your legs. Point, flex your toes, do whatever you want here. But feel stable in your back and your hands. This is an inversion. We'll stay here for a couple breaths. Again, you don't want any pressure in your neck. So if you do, just tell me, we'll make a change. I like to play with my legs here. It feels good when they are finally free and not lifting me up. Maybe you like stillness. If you want to come to like a lightning bolt stand so your legs aren't straight up and down, this will take more pressure off of your neck. And if you do have a block, you can definitely place that under your sacrum for supported shoulder stand. Are you okay, Emmy? Does this work for you? Yeah, okay, good.
I don't do that very well.
Oh, okay. I see a block, so if you want to just place that under your sacrum, please. That's a great way to.
I can 3 or 4.
Good. Yeah. Stay as long as you like, of course. Nice, Tara. That's definitely a pose. I just forget what it's called. You can come down whenever you like, safely. Roll from top to bottom on your spine. Come through plow pose if that feels good. And then, yes, just lay there on your back with your knees to the sky and the soles of your feet to the earth. It's nice to open up the shoulder blades, open up the upper back sometimes. We're so hunched forward, but we're also strained. So we're not really opening the shoulder blades. We're not really opening the top of the back. It's still tensing, but without relaxing. So we'll come to our back with our feet to the floor, knees to the sky. We'll do a little counter stretch on our spine with a little back bend. So really press firmly into the soles of the feet with your arms by your side. Have your palms to the mat. Press into the palms, and then with your next inhale, lift your hips. Lift your hips as you walk your upper arms beneath your back, lifting your heart. Maybe you interlace your fingers behind your low back. Lift your hips a little higher. Feel like you have a block between your knees as you squeeze your knees and your thighs together. Pressing your shins away from you will lift your hips a little higher. When you're ready, slowly come down, top of the spine to the bottom. Bring your feet out wide as the mat, and just windshield wiper your knees. Neutralizing the back. Bring your feet back to the earth, closer together. Maybe have your heels closer to your glutes, closer to your bum. Yeah, there you go. That'll let you lift your hips a little higher. Press into the soles of the feet, press into your hands. Then inhale to lift your hips. Again, walking your shoulder blades beneath your heart. Maybe you interlace your fingers underneath your low back. Nice. Lift your hips a little higher. Stay here. Or if you want to come into upward bow, you can place your hands next to your ears with your fingers facing your shoulders. It might be easier with your hips already lifted. Press weight into your palms and lift your whole body up. Awesome. So you'll keep pressing into your feet, press into your palms. When you're ready, roll yourself all the way down. You can windshield wiper your feet again if that feels nice. Let's keep the legs bent and then lift the right leg and cross the ankle over your left thigh, coming into this figure four. Keeping your back grounded, yeah. Interlace your hands behind your left thigh. You can lift the leg and then just pull the left thigh towards you, getting into the right hip. Flexing both feet. Maybe you'd like to straighten the left leg. Sway back and forth, really getting into the entire hip. Then we'll exhale, keeping the right leg over the left thigh. Exhale, ground the right sole of the foot over to the left side. So we're twisting. We're coming into a twist. You can keep your right knee lifted or, of course, lower it. If you keep it lifted, you could walk your left leg a little closer to your upper body to get into the hip a little deeper. And then we'll bring our arms out to a T or to a goalpost and send your gaze over your right shoulder if that's comfortable. If not, keep it to the sky. Breathing deeply here. Doing what's right for you, as long as you can feel the twist in the low back. Maybe you're still getting that hip opener in. Inhale, come all the way back up. Unwind your legs. Maybe stretch one leg out long, the other one, do some bicycle action. Take a happy baby really quick, little intermission. Again, a little freestyle, whatever feels good for you in your body right now. And then, of course, we'll bring the soles of the feet back to the earth. Whenever you're ready, we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh as you lift the leg. And then pull it towards your face. Keep flexing both feet. And you should feel this in your outer left hip. Maybe you sway back and forth. Keep moving, or maybe you find stillness. Maybe you straighten that right leg. Point and flex the toes, but keep that left foot flexed at least. We'll bend the right leg if it's long, and then plant that left foot over to the right side as you come to a twist. Again, you could walk that right thigh a little closer to the face to really open up that left hip. Bring arms out to a T or like a gold post. Send your gaze to the sky or over your left shoulder. Coming back to the counts of the breath. Maybe you can start to lengthen your inhales and lengthen your exhales. Start to lift your knees back up, unwind your legs, and do again whatever feels nice to get that stretch out. Maybe you feel some sensation coming from your hips. sort of like an energy lock. And then once you're ready, start to rock back and forth on your spine vertically and come all the way up to sit. Come to sit with your legs out long in front of you. Sitting up high, feet are flexed. You want your toes like reaching for your face. We'll sweep the arms out and up. Arms frame the ears, and then exhale, fold over your legs for Paschimottanasana. Stretch to the east. Retrieve your feet, or grab opposite, or grab ankles or shins, whatever makes you feel the stretch in the low back or the hamstrings. Of course, you do not want to hurt your low back. If that doesn't feel good, just round the spine a little more. Keep your feet flexed. You can let the arms just hang by your sides of your legs if you don't want that activeness anymore. Breathing deeply. Start to tuck your chin and roll yourself back up. We'll bring our hands behind us, grounded on the mat. Have your fingers facing towards your hips. Have your hands about 7 to 8 inches behind you. Pour weight into the palms of your hands. You can either lift up this way and point the toes, grounding the big toe, or bend your knees and come to a reverse tabletop, lifting the hips. Open the shoulders, puff up the armpits. You can let your head hang behind you. Keep it slightly lifted. Really reach the hips a little higher with your next inhale. Then exhale, lower the sits bones. Come all the way down, and we'll come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Layer up, however feels good. Put some socks on. Wrap yourself in a blanket or a sweatshirt. Find some solitude. Find yourself surrendering in this moment into this pose. Letting everything melt onto the mat. Feeling whole again. Or maybe you continue to feel whole. Maybe you can find some relief, find some release. Feel the heaviness, feel any demons, feel anything holding you back, lifting and releasing from your body as your physical self sinks into the mat here. Letting Mother Earth just hold you here. Feeling nothing but gratefulness and faith that your body could do this for you today, that your body brought you here. I like to end my practice. I like to start Shavasana with the song called Gratitude. Hopefully you can hear a little bit of it. Let yourself get lost in the thoughts. Let yourself feel lighter. I'd like to read a poem. Feel free to tune me out or just take a listen. It's called Walk Slowly. It's by, I think it's Dana or Donna Faulds. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, to be, and walk slowly into the mystery. I feel like yoga allows us all to walk slowly together into the unknown, into the territory, into the life that we urge to decode and understand. Begin to deepen your breath. Hopefully the frequency didn't mess up and you could really feel the energy of the bells and the vibration. Start to awaken your body. Wiggle your toes, wrists, ankles. Begin to bend one knee into your chest and then the other. And then roll onto your left side, hugging in your knees, hugging yourself, coming into a fetal position to offer yourself gratitude and love and appreciation. Begin to press yourself up to sit. Hopefully you can keep your eyes closed, if not soft. Maybe your mind feels heavy and your body feels lighter. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe you've created space for your mind. We'll let our hands come wherever they fall on our thighs. Relax your shoulders. And then let's gather our hands to heart center and close out this practice together with just chanting one sound, one energy, one voice, one song of Om. Let your heart rise to your thumbs. Relax your shoulders, and we'll inhale together. Oh. Lift the base of your thumbs to your third eye, lean back, face up. Just slow down. Remember this to enjoy the simple things. Be present and live with intention. On your next exhale, fold forward, sealing in your practice. Namaste.
Namaste.